The rise and fall of Blackberry. Remember when, just 15 years ago, the whole world was obsessed with Blackberry phones? Lady Gaga tweeted with one, Kim Kardashian had three, and Madonna always kept hers closed, even while she slept. Even President Barack Obama struggled to part with his during his time in office. Simply put, Blackberries were like the Gucci of phones. Everyone wanted them. The Blackberry company had such a stronghold that it dominated the smartphone market, holding a commanding 43% share in the US and 20% globally. But sadly, the reverse is the case now. They don't make phones anymore. As a matter of fact, in July 2022, they stopped helping out with their old phones. So what went wrong? How did the Blackberry, a smartphone that was once considered the height of luxury, fade into obscurity? This is the backstory of Blackberry. Before we delve into the fall of Blackberry, we have to travel back in time as far back as 1984. The idea behind Blackberry all began with two engineering students, Mike Lazaridis and Douglas Friggin, who founded a company called Research in Motion in 1984. Their goal was simply to spread wireless data to the masses, regardless of how that would come to pass. Though things weren't all rosy, they stuck to their objective. It wasn't until 1986 that things picked up for them with a $600,000 deal from General Motors. In 1996, Research in Motion launched the first messaging paper that could send and receive messages both ways. And by 1997, the company became publicly traded on the Toronto Stock Exchange. The first thing called Blackberry was a pager with a full QWERTY keyboard. This keyboard shape and feel later became a big part of the brand's identity. In fact, they even named it Blackberry because of the keys on the keyboard. This cool pager was a game changer because it let busy folks like business pros, executives, and sales reps easily check their mails while on the move. Blackberry hit the jackpot by making emails on the go a breeze. The next version even added phone features, something no one had nailed quite like this before. In the 90s, various companies including Palm, Ericsson, IBM, and Apple competed to dominate the newly emerging handheld gadget market. Apple's Apple Newton, which used a stylus, failed due to software issues. However, Blackberry aimed to revolutionize the industry with its innovative approach. The key challenge was the limited bandwidth for data transmissions. Mike, the visionary behind Research in Motion, recognized this issue. He developed technology in Blackberry devices that transmitted data without overloading the networks. While other companies charged high prices for devices that struggled with network performance, Blackberry devices reliably worked well. Their user-friendly keyboards, designed for thumb use, gave Blackberry a significant edge. Over the next few years, Blackberry made their phones better by adding things like a color display, Wi-Fi, a built-in camera, and their very own Blackberry Messenger (BBM). As expected, it hit the world like a storm. It was unlike anything anyone had ever seen. The phones began dominating the smartphone market. And then, fast forward to 2006, Blackberry rolled out two new phones, the Blackberry Pearl and the Blackberry Curve. With the inception of these phones, one thing was clear: Blackberry had hit the jackpot. There was no going home at this point. The Blackberry Pearl marked a unique transition from the usual Blackberry style. It looked smoother and more consumer-friendly, sporting an effective trackball for navigation, which gave it the nickname Pearl. This was the first Blackberry that added features like a camera and music player. These additions indicated that RIM was no longer into pleasing just business pros. They were aiming for a broader customer base. A year later, in 2007, Blackberry Curve burst onto the scene. This one was packed with cooler features like a built-in camera and better screen. Although its standout feature still remained a full QWERTY keyboard, it was perfect for texting nonetheless. The Pearl and the Curve models propelled Blackberry to new heights. As time moved on, things got more interesting. By 2010, an unbelievable number of people in the US and around the world were crazy about Blackberry phones. Around 21 million in the US and 36 million globally. The company was super popular and their stock price went through the roof because everyone wanted their cool products. Before we continue with this fascinating downfall, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a thumbs up. Your support helps us bring more intriguing stories like this to you. Blackberry Messenger (BBM) became even more of a big deal. It was so powerful that during notable and big events like the London riots in 2011, people wanted to turn it off because there were calls to shut down BBM because it was used to coordinate protests. It was like X, Twitter back in the days. However, things took a turn. The era of BlackBerry dominance was short-lived. New smartphones with advanced systems like Android emerged and overshadowed BlackBerry. The arrival of the iPhone was a game changer. It introduced a sleek touchscreen and a vast range of apps. BlackBerry, renowned for its keyboard and security, struggled to keep pace with this tech revolution. Consumers, particularly the younger demographic, desired a more user-friendly and entertaining experience. Despite BlackBerry's attempt to compete with the unique features of the iPhone through its BlackBerry 10 OS and the physical keyboard of the Passport, it was too late. App developers gravitated towards the iPhone and Android platforms, resulting in a limited app section for BlackBerry. Consequently, BlackBerry's market share plummeted. Businesses that had once been loyal to BlackBerry started shifting to iPhones and Androids. In 2010, BlackBerry's stock price plummeted. The company realized it couldn't compete in the hardware market and made a critical decision. Many believed that BlackBerry failed to deliver what customers truly desired. Apparently, a user-friendly experience was more appealing than security features. The sooner BlackBerry could have abandoned the keyboard on their smartphones, the better. Whether this was due to overconfidence or a simple oversight, we will never know. However, Apple and Android capitalized on BlackBerry's misstep. Here's how they did it. In 2007, Apple unveiled the iPhone, a device that combined a phone and an iPod. The then CEO of Apple, Steve Jobs, famously said, "So we've got a widescreen iPod with touch controls, a phone, a revolutionary internet communicator, an iPod, a phone. Are you getting it?" This statement implied that other phone options, particularly BlackBerry, didn't offer the functionality and sleekness of the iPhone. But that wasn't all Jobs had to say about BlackBerry. During the 2010 iPad launch, he criticized the bulkiness of tablets, a market that BlackBerry dominated at the time. He stated, "Other devices out there, they are trying to be all things to all people. We don't think that's a good strategy." He was right. BlackBerry was trying to be a jack of all trades, missing the point altogether. Jobs didn't just make these remarks once. There were more instances like these. However, these examples highlight how Apple positioned itself as the cool, easy-to-use choice by subtly pointing out other companies' flaws like BlackBerry. This clever marketing plan was as sharp and witty as a perfectly timed joke from Steve Jobs. BlackBerry's global market share plummeted from 20% in 2009 to less than 5% by the end of 2012. In 2013, Research in Motion rebranded to BlackBerry and launched a touchscreen phone in an attempt to compete. But it was too late. BlackBerry's share in the smartphone market fell to zero, and things only worsened. In 2006, TCL, a Chinese company, bought the BlackBerry phone brand. Despite introducing new BlackBerry phones such as the Key 2 in 2018, they found few buyers. The expected release of the new BlackBerry 5G in 2021 never materialized, and in December of that year, the company announced a complete shutdown of their operating system. Faced with these challenges, BlackBerry shifted focus from the competitive hardware market to cybersecurity, providing high-quality software and services to businesses and governments. Despite considering it a smart move, this pivot didn't gather the traction they had hoped for. BlackBerry's story is not an anomaly. Blockbuster, one of the largest multimedia brands of the 20th century, missed an opportunity in 2000 to buy Netflix for $50 million. Now, Netflix is valued at over $200 billion. The potential impact on Blockbuster could have been significant. Like many tech companies, BlackBerry struggled to keep pace with rapid changes in innovation. This underscores the fact that even large companies can fail without constant innovation and adaptation. What do you think about this situation? In your opinion, does BlackBerry have a chance for a comeback? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to stay updated with our latest content.